Hello everybody, Mac here. Welcome back to the show. Here we are at day 2 of the, the Target Fall Geek Out. Now, last week when I predicted that McFarlane was just going to release the 4th figure for the Crime Syndicate wave, boy was I way off. We actually got the anniversary edition of the Batman the Animated Series figure with the whole diorama, cityscape scene, and we got the New York Comic-Con exclusive lunchbox for the 5-inch figures, and there was something else, I can't remember what it was. I know there was the autographed version of the animated figure. I can't remember what it was, but anyway, I was way off on my predictions. So today, for Neca, I'm not even going to try to guess. If I had to guess, I would say it's going to be something for the Turtles. I mean, let's face it, it's probably going to be something Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles related. I am also not a big collector of Neca, so when it came down to the next 2 weekends, or the next 2 Fridays for Neca, I was wondering what I was going to do, and lo and behold, as I was walking through Target, I found these, the original Superheroes Flash Gordon figure. I have Flash and I have Ming that we'll be taking a look at next Friday, both by Neca. And if you remember from my Defenders of the Earth review for Flash Gordon and Ming the Merciless, I am a longtime fan of Flash Gordon. The old pulp series, the comics, the cartoons. I had Flash Gordon coloring books, loved the movie from the 80s, and this is the first time I've seen this version of the figure on the shelves. I know I could have probably ordered these online. I forget. I think these were, these used to be Amazon exclusives or NECA store exclusives? I can't remember. But I finally found these, and so we'll be taking a look at these for the next 2 Fridays. Now, what we have here is a much more interesting, colorful, and dynamic box than what we had for Defenders of the Earth. Because Defenders of the Earth was basically just blue, said Flash Gordon, Defenders of the Earth on it. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't this. I love this because this looks like an old beat-up box. How you have the King features, number 2 up here. I think Ming is number 1. You have this aging here around the side, a great pulp comic image of Flash down here. On the side, you have his name, some more of the weathering, of the aging on the strips right here, the original superheroes. On the back, you have some great images of Flash along with the Defenders of the Earth cross-cell along the bottom. Those are the 2 we took a look at. You have Ming the Merciless. Oh, he's number 3. Oh, the Phantom was number 1. Well, I'm not big on the Phantom, so I won't be getting him, so it's just going to be Flash and Ming. And then on the side, we have a shot of the figure, a headshot of the figure, and then the original superheroes up top, original superheroes 14 and up on the bottom, NECA E's down here. So that's what we have for the box. It is a great box if you are a on-card in-box collector. However, I am going to be ripping this open, and we're going to be taking a look at him. So without further ado, let's open up NECA Toys, the original Superheroes Flash Gordon, King of the Impossible. Okay, here he is, Flash. Out of the box, and putting the tape measure to him, we see that he comes in at roughly 6 7/8 inches tall, which is very interesting to me because I believe that is shorter than the Defenders of the Earth Flash Gordon. And it's also interesting to me because I thought NECA was pretty much set at a 7-inch figure. So we'll have to wait and see how he measures up with some of the other ones when we do size comparisons. Okay, now getting a closer look at him, the first thing that surprises me is that I thought this figure was going to be pretty much all reuse from the Defenders of the Earth Flash Gordon, just with some different paint apps. And the legs and the boots definitely are reused from the Defenders of the Earth Flash Gordon, just has some new paint apps on them. And honestly, what gorgeous paint apps they are. With this dark metallic royal blue, this metallic gold with this stripe coming down the leg, kind of reminds you of some other, sci-fi epic pilot gunslinging hero. And the torso, though, I thought was basically just going to be a repaint, but the arms are definitely different because he doesn't have the shoulder pauldrons on his arms, nor does he have the cinched cuffs at the wrists. And the torso itself is different, not just because of the gold discs, but because he has a high collar on the Defenders of the Earth. He doesn't have this exposed neck. So I'm actually wondering where this torso came from, and if this is from the Phantom, because I don't have a Phantom figure to compare it to, but I was wondering if maybe this is a reuse from the Phantom and they just added the gold discs to it, or if this is a completely new mold. Now, bringing it up closer, we definitely have a new mold for the face sculpt here, and I like this. This is very pulp. This is very golden age sci-fi. I really like this with his headdress, and I like how the headdress is a different blue from anything else that's on the figure. Kind of makes it stand out that, like, the pulp era of sci-fi was very much about colors, bright colors, different colors all over the place. I mean, we got brown, royal blue, gold, yellow, red, brown for the holster, and then like 2 shades of blue for the headdress here. I really, really appreciate that, really like that. I also like that the eyes are looking forward, and even like the little bit of like feathering they did to his eyebrows right there. I really like that, and I just noticed looking through the camera, he even has a dimpled chin, a very strong jawline. I really like the look of this figure. I like the wash that they gave in the musculature to like make it stand out more. It gives it really like that big heroic look to him. I really like that. This big chonky belt, I could do without that. I understand why it's big and chonky like that, because you have the holster, and later we'll be adding a scabbard to the other side. But this, I feel like they could have done something better with this. I don't hate it. I just don't think that's as best as they could do. But even in the back here, just look at like the musculature in the back. Such a hero our boy Flash is. And like I said, the legs, the boots, everything from the waist down is pretty much reused from Defenders of the Earth. Now, looking at the articulation, his head will do a complete 360. He has some decent head tilt from side to side. He can look up. He has a really thick neck. He can kind of look down, not great, but that's neutral position right there. Once again, big Adam's apple, really thick neck. The arms will do a complete 360 spin. Now, one of the issues that I have with Neca, which is why I really don't get a lot of Neca, is because every time I get something Neca, the joints are very stiff. And while, let me see if you can hear that. Hear it creaking as I try and push it up. While that's not nearly as stiff as some of the other things that I've gotten from them have been, especially, once again, talking about Defenders of the Earth, the Defenders of the Earth Flash Gordon, that's still stiff enough that it makes me worry something's going to break. So I kind of try and get on the ball joint of the shoulder right there to angle it up and even bring it back down. Now, he has a bicep swivel. There's no butterfly joint. He has a bicep swivel. He has double jointed elbows with some decent travel. They don't fold all the way up, but it's pretty decent. One thing also is that not the left arm, but the right arm right here, this is very gummy. And I don't know if you can see that, but when I try and bend it, it starts to peel away, or it seems like it starts to peel away a little bit from the peg. And it's also very gummy in the joint right there. So I'm very careful with the right arm. For some reason, it's just the right arm. The left arm doesn't have a problem, but the right arm has that gumminess to it. All right, Flash, let's get your arms up out of the way. You can see, I don't know, maybe on the camera you can't, but there is an ab cut in there, and that's a little tight too. You can hear that. He can crunch forward. He can crunch back. Let's get his arms out of the way. He can crunch back. It's static from side to side, so there's no rock right there. There's no ball joint at the waist, but there is a pivot at the waist, so his waist can do a full twist. And that creaking that you're hearing, that is not a tight joint. That is the waist working against this big chunky belt. You can see it sort of stretching and deforming when you twist him around. That's what that creaking is. Now we come down to the legs. That this crotch piece right here is a very soft rubber, much like the McFarlane figures that we get. And his leg can come up to about there, coming straight out. But if we turn it, we can bring it up to just past 90 right there. And then his leg will go back as well. And once again, this is a very soft rubber. This will bend and get out of the way. Now, even though it's a soft rubber, it's a heavier rubber than what McFarlane uses. So whenever I move these around, when I play with the McFarlane figures and I move this around, I always worry that this is either going to rip or deform. I don't have that same kind of fear with this figure that I did with McFarlane just because of how heavy it is. He also has the hidden thigh swivel in there, or the hidden hip swivel in there, that you get some really decent movement from Flash here. Double jointed knees with some decent travel. A boot cut that's a little tight. You can hear that. Forward facing pin for some rock. Ankles rock back. Ankles rock forward. And toe articulation. Out of the box, Flash comes with a pair of clenched fists. And then in addition to his fists, he has two gripping hands. One is a standard gripping hand and one is a triggered gripping hand. This is for him holding his sword. This is for him shooting his gun. Something that I appreciate with these hands on this version of Flash Gordon, I don't know if you remember, but once again on the Defenders of the Earth one, it was very hard getting these out. I was worried I was going to break them, but these ones are much sturdier, that you just pop one out and then you push one back in. Now, truthfully, this is the first thing from Neca that I've bought since the Defenders of the Earth Flash Gordon. So I don't know if they've just improved on Flash and this line, or if Neca in general has improved in their quality control. We also get a second head sculpt for Flash, and this is basically the Defenders of the Earth Flash Gordon head sculpt. But I like this better. It's a little shinier, but I feel like the detail work is better. I feel like the eyes are much more intense, much more piercing, and I feel like they just did a whole better job on the cheeks, the lips, the dimpled chin. I don't know if they did this, because I can't tell if the eyes are pixelated or not, but I feel like there might be some 3D, or not 3D, there might be some photoreal printing going on with this. I don't know. Somebody tell me yay or nay if you know one way or another. But I definitely feel like the whole construct of this figure is better than what we had with the Defender of the Earth Flash Gordon. Now, to change the head sculpt, it's very simple. Just pop the old one off, and then we can fit the new one on, and there we go. Now getting to look at the accessories that come with Flash, I really, really love these accessories. First of all, let's take a look at his ray gun here, because there's really nothing else to call it. It's not a laser pistol, it's a ray gun. Look at that future retro design on it, that Art Deco styling. It looks like a spaceship with a trigger on it. I love this pistol. I love the dark blue coloring that it is. You can even see a little bit of shading and some shadowing, a black wash on it. I really, really like this design. And it fits very easily into Flash's hand. You just put it in, and twist, and he's ready to go. And it even looks good in his hand, especially with this whole pulp style going on. The only thing that is frustrating about it is that this holster right here, you can flip this flap up, and then you can put it in the holster. And you have to try and get it down in there without bending or breaking anything, and really stretching the holster to its limit. But the top flap still won't close over it. You can't put the weapon in there, the pistol in there. Or maybe you can. I feel like I'm bending it. Nope. Nope, it just misses. See that? And I feel like if I try and wedge it in there anymore, I'm going to break something. So I don't know if this holster is reuse from the Phantom and he just had his 1911s in there, but it definitely does not fit this pistol. Something else that we get with Flash is his sword, and I love this accessory. Just look at this. Look at this Art Deco styling. Look, this is a piece of art right here. Look at the color. Look at the just the flash on it. Like, everything about this looks great. This metallic gold, the shading of blue for the scabbard. Oh, is that so? Nope, that's fine. And then you just draw the blade, and it has this beautiful silver finish to it. The coloring on the pommel carries over from the cross piece. This whole thing looks great. The blue on the cross piece and the pommel accenting his headdress right here. And this whole thing looks great. And even when you sheath it, and let me see if you can hear this. There's a little click that it locks into place and it's not going to fall out. Now, with the Defenders of the Earth Flash Gordon, this is basically the same sword, except it's actually a sword, whereas the Defenders of the Earth, it was a, you know, non-copyright infringing laser sword. But this is just steel, and it's great, and it looks great on Flash. Well, first of all, before we sheath that, he does have his sword gripping hand right here, that you peel the fingers open, and you slide it down in there. It's a bit of a tight fit, but he does get his hand around it, and it's not loose. He won't drop it because, once again, not to keep harping on it, but the Defenders of the Earth, whenever he would hold his sword, it was very loose, and it almost like fell forward. Now, he also has this peg hole right here on the side of his big honkin' belt, and he has this peg right here on the side of his sheath, that it just fits right in there perfectly. And there you go. He has all of his accessories. I just wish he could sheath, or he could holster the gun and have the flap come over. That would be perfect. I don't know. I may cut that off just so that he can holster it and not have the flap there. I don't know, because that annoys me. But the sheath on there looks great. Look at how the colors complement the colors that he already has. And even this shade of blue, like I said about adding colors, this shade of blue right here is a unique shade of blue. The sword matches the golden discs and the headdress, but the sheath is its own thing, and this just looks great. Some more accessories that we have are a pair of blast effects, and these are the same ones that came with the Defenders of the Earth figures, that we have this long one right here, as well as this short one that just fits onto the nozzle. Now, this weapon has these iron sights up front that I don't think the other weapons did, so they've taken that into consideration. And it may not show up on camera. As a matter of fact, it's hard to even see with the naked eye. That you kind of got to twist it around, there you go, until you find it. That there is a cut in the blast effect that the sights can fit into so that it will fit on the barrel of the gun. We have that for the long one. And then we also have it... Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? There it is. We also have it for the short one. And truthfully, I think I like the short one better than the long effect. There we go. Okay, so here is our King Feature Original Superheroes Flash Gordon next to his Defenders of the Earth counterpart, and you can see, yes, he is shorter than the Defenders of the Earth figure, and I think I know why. The legs are the same, but this torso right here is so much stockier. You can see even the shoulders don't line up right there. And I don't know why they went with a smaller torso for this. I don't know. You can definitely see a size difference, and even if I swap the head and put the standard head, this one, on the original superheroes, it's not going to change the size difference at all. Legs are the same, torsos are different. And now for size comparison, here he is with the Hasbro Marvel Legends Captain Marvel and Binary. Here he is with McFarlane Toys John Stewart and Kyle Rayner Green Lanterns. Here he is with Lanyard Toys City Hunter Predator and Xenomorph Drone. And here he is with Mattel's WWE The Hurricane and me from the Valaverse Action Force Steel Brigade. And finally, here he is with Jazzware's Spartan Collection, Halo 2 Master Chief, and Noble 6. So what can I say? I like this figure. I really like this figure. I like this figure so much better than the Defenders of the Earth Flash Gordon. When I got the Defenders of the Earth Flash Gordon, I was a little disappointed in it because of the quality, because of how much the joints stuck, because, truthfully, of the accessories not really fitting very well into his hands, and also kind of because of the paint apps. This one is a complete change from the Defenders of the Earth figure, not just in style, being that Art Deco, that pulp era sci-fi, but just in quality, overall quality of the figure, that it's really making me excited to see what they did with Ming. Can't wait to get that open next weekend. One thing that I am disappointed on is his height. He's not quite 7 inches tall, but he's taller than the 6-inch scale figures, bigger than the 6-inch scale figures. Doesn't quite fit with 6-inch, doesn't quite fit with 7-inch. He's kind of his own thing, and it's also making me a little concerned that is he going to be shorter than Ming, which I guess wouldn't be horrible, Ming being taller, him being the bad guy, that might work, but how much shorter than Ming will he be? The one that I'm really looking forward to, and I don't know how, when, and if I'm going to get it, is the 1980s Flash Gordon movie 2-pack that has not hit Walmart's in my area, and I'm thinking that it's sold out. Hopefully maybe I can pick one up at RetroCon for a decent price. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm really, really digging on this style of Flash Gordon. Like I said, just the height is my only issue with it. It's also kind of disappointing that the holster won't flap closed for the pistol, but I'll accept that just because the pistol looks so cool. And like I said, I may end up cutting that flap off anyway. We'll have to wait and see. Don't forget that today is day 2 of the Fall Target Geek Out. Neca has something going on pre-order today at 8 o'clock Central Time, I think it is. So check that out. The McFarlane figure, as far as I know, is still available for pre-order. The autographed Batman is sold out, but I'm kind of interested to see what Neca has coming out. Like I said, I'm willing to bet that it's something for Turtles, but we'll just have to wait and see. Next week is another Neca weekend, so we'll be taking a look at Ming. So until then, play well, my friends. Stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, thank you for watching.